2-car batteries.
Yeah, so
I'm ready for it.
A Bluetooth device would.
You could have a pinwheel and it could be wind powered.
It could be solar powered with just
I
like.
honestly laugh.
Solar power.
Oh wait,
Hopefully we won't deal with them at night.
Yeah.
It'll need a battery eventually, but you don't have to worry about that at this point.
All right, so right now, let's construct a device that kind of wraps around the back of the head over the ears.
Okay.
So.
How easy to remove? Is that something somebody can just easily grab off you?
I mean, if they're
feel
like
like it would.
behind you, or like
Okay.
they could like.
So that's worth half back, which essentially means the energy cost will end up still being the same. But with 24 points, do you want to put all the points into it right now, or just a fraction of them? I mean, you could put where you are now. If you stick that 20 points in, you could have up to 40 points of increased intelligence and power. Just for defensive purposes, as opposed as for like mental shit coming at you.
Mental shit.
Yeah.
Let's avoid all that mental shit bombarding us.
And then you have to get another cord from some other device to plug in.
I want this thing to work. I really want this thing to work. So I'm gonna put 20 points into it.
So that increases whoever's wearing it. Oh, we need an event check again.
You had 20 points left too, so we put all his points.
No, he's putting all 20 points in, which gives him 40 points because of the ease of being able to remove it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 73.
Yeah, you're good. Now it also costs. It's going to end up costing 40 points to run this thing right now. But plugging it into the wall, it's not an issue.
So I'm putting 20 points.
And with this device, even if you want yourself to be mind controlled, you wouldn't be able to because it's a device. It can't turn itself
Right. The defensive will kick in as soon as some kind of mind. This is your theory. The device will turn itself on as soon as any kind of mind control, any kind of mental power comes your way, tries to hit you in the face.
Okay, so it's automatic.
Yeah, it just boom, just pops up.
Because I don't know when this guy is gonna come in.
Right.
Or when his.
So there it is. It's like a. What do you say? It's like a reverse headband that comes up.
Yeah. Just
like reverse sunglasses almost.
No, it looks like those back strap headphones that wrap around the back of your head.
Except it just comes in hooks. It doesn't have does it have headphones on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking an old pair of headphones.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be the most comfortable way to have it. So
Yeah.
I actually had a pair of those.
After an hour, I'd probably come back.
Of dancing.
Clunk, 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 clunk,
in the street.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Come on in.
Those are big fucking pigeons. Okay. Again, it's going to take you. Roll me d4. How about that? We'll see how many hours it takes to put this thing together. You're a super genius. What the hell?
1.
It only takes you an hour. So you're coming back in when you've got it thrown together. That might not always be how we do it, but that's how we're going to do it for right now.
Cool.
And you've got this device. It's this tiny, delicate little thing with this big-ass cord coming off
right now.
in the wall.
It's got this
Because you're throwing shit together.
big
Like, okay.
orange, like...
It's the GK word.
It's like outside extension cord kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so... Ready, I'm going to
Okay, so you're putting it
put
on?
this on where I think your ears might be.
Yeah, I think they're right
So
here,
it
too.
stays.
His head is pretty close to what he.
Oh, okay.
normal
I
head,
didn't know
except
if it was
it's
still
real skinny. It's real skinny.
All right, so
Like he's a
let's put this
statue,
thing
right?
on.
But he's wood. Remember, he's all like skeletal.
Yeah, but when he's in other forms, he's a statue more than just a rock man or a.
Yeah. He looks like a real.
Yeah. So
like
you can see
Michelangelo's
his junk
David.
hanging out right now too.
Don't wanna.
Yeah, that's the thing about me.
Did you use one of the
Like
one of the chair legs, or did
Well, I
you
would
use just
be-
one
yeah, I
of
would
these
be-
guys?
Well, I mean, he's scrounging for parts.
It's not too important. Right?
Oh, that
So-
is.
So you
All
put
right,
that
so
on.
I'm
It's
gonna
like Dr. Manhattan.
That was 40 points
plug that into the wall. You got 40 points
added to your
added
intelligence.
to your intelligence right now.
So you have
Jesus Christ. What is your intelligence?
crazy freaking intelligence.
What is the total there, Logan?
So it would end up being 51.
51 versus the 21 of the emotion control device is a 5% chance.
Yeah, that it
It's
can
a
work.
95% chance that you will be able to resist. So 96 or above. What are you going to set it for, Joey? Pew!
No, we're done with that one.
Or
I'm weird for woodland.
More
Alright,
wood would
sand
be-
dust or like
Sawdust.
Sawdust.
Okay, what are you gonna set it for?
I'm setting it for love.
Okay, make your roll. He
Ready?
points it at you, pulls the trigger.
30.
Nothing apparently happens.
Nothing? How do you feel?
Sort of the same.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for something to come.
You want a hug?
Oh, the lights dim for just seconds. Just for like the barest of seconds, like.
All the lights just like flicker a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Up
It's
around
like when you. No, it's not that bad. It's like when you take one of those little space heaters, the really powerful ones, you plug it in. When you turn it on,
Yeah.
the lights kind of do one of these
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's what
Is there a
happens.
little tone, like a little, just like little
I don't know.
noise?
Do you want there to be any noise?
To let you know that someone's trying to, like, yeah.
Well, I know that.
From the look on Joey's face, we're gonna say no.
Yeah.
That's not it.
No, I didn't think about that.
So
No, but
nope, it's just nothing happens.
yeah, I know that I'm.
You can
I'm
try
used
this a
to
few times. Click, click, click. If you want to as well. So that's up to you.
I'm feeling pretty normal.
All right, son. We'll click it down to sadness.
Try
Or
again.
we'll try this again.
Shoot me.
Okay, make a roll. Again, 95% chance to resist.
Well, 82, so it's
You're
close.
fine.
I'm good.
You good? You fine?
Yeah.
What?
This is awesome.
We
Now
figured
it's
it out.
useless against us.
Well, one of you.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, that's the thing. We've got one of these. We've got something that we think works.
Mhm.
I just put 11 points into that thing. I'm gonna have to make it run on a battery, so I'm gonna
11 points into the gun.
yeah, 11
Yeah.
points went into the gun. Well,
So we'll have one of these devices.
Nobody here has money, so it's not like you can just buy more parts.
I mean, I've got a little bit, but I mean, I don't have.
What it
the
would probably
points.
be about $1,000 per gimmick point. I think is an easy way to do it. In a case, in this case.
Yeah,
And that
let's
can change
go.
in other game sessions too. So
Yeah.
keep in mind.
So we have something we think works.
Yes,
We're
because
moving
you've
in the
used
right
all your
direction.
best parts that you had just lying around the house for these
Yeah.
two devices.
So I want this thing to work. Now I just need to streamline it. So,
So
I'm going to call this a success.
yeah. So for definitely one of us to be able to approach the gentleman without being controlled,
Yeah.
but then we would have to incapacitate him somehow.
Yeah. He doesn't.
Step 2, no.
From what I've seen, he doesn't look like a very muscular or even like fit person.
So perhaps
Let's take a look. Let's take a
steal.
look. Hold on. Probably slightly above average musculature.
Oh.
Not a bodybuilder, obviously, but obviously in shape.
Above 10.
He looks very healthy to you.
Yeah.
The times that you saw him at a distance, and a little above average looks.
Okay.
That's what, and probably about 6 foot tall. He doesn't look like somebody that can knock you through a wall or anything like that. He wasn't like bulging in muscles, anything like that. But obviously he's fit and he's in good shape.
Okay.
So one
But
of
you
us-
didn't notice any armor on him of any kind.
No, he just looks like he wears a suit and then, like, immediately after, dumbs himself down. All right, so we have this that we think works. Now we need to just figure out how we're going to get close enough to him to incapacitate him.
That took an hour, so it's about 1 a.m.
About 1 a.m. You guys can go to sleep. I need to think about this for a little while.
I don't sleep, but I will meditate.
You can meditate if you need to sleep.
Room?
I do have a room
A room?
Room?
A room with a V?
and a simmer.
A room?
Yeah,
You want a
use-
room?
Yeah,
A
you
room?
no, you can use my room. The spare room is full of junk. Parts
Probably
and
is
stuff.
about looks like my spare room does, but electronics instead of books.
Okay.
So you can take my room. I can
Yeah.
sleep in here if I need
Thank
to.
you.
So
Do you have a hide bed? Up to you, entirely your choice.
it's like a cot. I have a sleeping
No,
bag.
like that's a hide bed. That couch. It pulls out into a bed. It weighs like freaking
Hides
200.
on
It weighs like 300 pounds.
And it's.
But it's amazingly comfortable to be quite honest. Yeah, they are a little more expensive. So, or you could just have a couch.
Yeah. for right
Your
now,
choice.
I'll just say that we have a couch.
Okay.
And I don't really expect guests, so I haven't
Sure.
put too much effort into getting things for other people. So you can take my room. We'll consider this for a little while. So during this time, I want to streamline this device, create the battery.
Okay. So are you stripping down the actual emotion control device?
Yeah,
Okay.
the emotion control gun, I can.
You can pull parts out of that to make the battery. The device is actually really streamlined already. It's like you said, it's just like one of those headsets that fits behind your ear that you pulled out the wiring for, like that would plug into the computer.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and replaced it with that cord. You could switch up and make a battery pack, and
something like.
how bulky do you want? I mean, you want something to fit in your pocket, or you want something
Yeah,
that's
that's
really
what
small,
I was thinking. Like
okay.
Something maybe like
Size of a cell phone.
yeah, something like that they could put in like a pants pocket or something.
Okay. And then a cord runs
Yeah,
from that
cord
up to the
can
thing.
run
Yeah.
inside the shirt
So,
up into the device.
That'll cost you basically a point for every 10 points of power. Actually, you know what? We're going to have that because, quite honestly, if somebody rips the thing off their head, it's probably going to rip the cords out from the battery pack.
Probably.
You know, so we'll say have that. So every point that you put in is essentially worth 20 points of juice. Every time the thing is used in defensive capability, so it's like boom. Every time it's hit is when it'll suck down those. How many points are in there? 40.
I have 40 points.
Potency.
So it costs 40 points every time it's used. So every point that you put in, a gimmick point that you put into the battery will give you 20 points of juice.
So if it's like when it's activated, that takes 40 points.
Yes.
Correct. Every time it's activated. Every time basically he tries to control your emotions, boom, it's a 40-point drain.
Okay. And then it's just like it doesn't like drain down over time. It just one
No.
time.
It only activates. It works just like the superpower. So the
Okay.
only time it activates is when somebody tries to hit you with a mental power.
And you said 1 point equals 20 points.
20 points of juice for this battery.
Okay, so if I want to, man, I have 15 points. I don't think
Do
I
you?
have to
150 points. You could put 150 points in. That means that would resist that he could try 3 times to control you
Okay, I thought
before
meant
you would be out of
constantly. I was
juice.
like, that is too much.
No. No, this is just juice. Because it costs 40 points.
Yeah.
It's going to cost a lot to do like reduced energy. It's going to cost more than it's worth to do reduced energy to this thing. Because it's a point per point basis for reduced energy.
I mean, I also want to
So he'd need another 40 points in order to lower it, so it just automatically works without any cost.
If I could ask you a question real quick.
You can ask it right here.
Okay. Can I tell him that he's doing too much?
You don't know.
Okay.
Your character would not know that.
Yeah.
He's going for nothing's getting through.
Yeah.
And
Nothing
that's not a
will.
bad idea.
Nothing will.
Yeah, I'm.
Because
Oh,
nobody knows the potency of this dude.
Yeah.
And 40 points is going to make sure that nothing's
Again,
gonna
it
get
doesn't
through.
matter how much distance is.
So basically, it'd be good for 3 attempts of somebody trying to go zip, zip, zip before the battery
Zip,
runs
zip.
dry.
Yeah. All right, I want to go.
And
At
you need
least-
this tracker too, so we can't disassemble that right now.
No, I still got 5 points into that. I'm gonna put if I put. Wait, if I put just 4 points into this, that gives me 80.
Right.
So that's good.
No.
for two.
You have 15 points left?
15.
That's worth 300 potential points of
Yeah.
electricity. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm sorry because yeah, I screwed up. Because again, because it's easy to take this thing apart. It's pretty delicate.
Yeah.
So yeah, 300 points would last you for 7 hits. Somebody hitting you 7 times before the battery's drained. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I think.
definitely combat line.
If he can hit you 8 times before you can
Then
punch
you
his face
messed
in,
up.
then
Yeah.
let's
I'll
just
go
be this
for-
guy's friend. and
I'll
just
go for 3. So I'm going to put 6 points into the battery.
Okay, so
that'll give me
120.
120.
Okay, so that gives you 3 charges before it's
Yeah,
drained.
so now I'm down. I have 9 points left. That's good because I want to try to figure. We still got this. this teleporting girl to deal with.
Yes.
I'm thinking if
And people can teleport out of grapples, I'm assuming.
but like does her power work like our character where if they don't want to go they're not teleported? Like how does that work?
I'm gonna throw out that yeah. If
It's
somebody
the same.
He tries to teleport us, we don't have to go.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Teleport is personal.
Yeah.
If you have enough points into it, you can take other people, but they have to be willing. Is the rule that I'm throwing down there because otherwise teleporting is going to become insanely powerful. Yeah. No. You have to have a surface to land on. I've also made that. I've established that for Nissa. She can't appear 20 feet up and just drop and crush somebody. We established that for Nissa. You have to know where you're teleporting to. You could actually do some research online and probably find out some shit. You have to have either a line of sight within your limits of your teleporting, or you have to have checked out an area in advance and be able to and know where you're going.
Yeah.
I've allowed Nissa to do line of sight. So if I can look out this window and look down there, I can teleport there.
Okay.
If it's within my range.
Yeah.
If I'm within range of say my house and I know my house fairly well, I can just teleport there.
Okay.
It works both ways.
Yeah, 'cause that seems to be what the girl is doing. Like she's, from what I could tell, it doesn't seem to be line of sight. But then again, when she showed up was the first time I saw her.
They disappeared out of that jewelry store.
Mm-hmm.
And the tracker immediately said they went east, which
Yeah.
was behind the building.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So they have to plan this out ahead of time.
probably. Otherwise, she would have popped up in the street and then headed up the street or something.
Yeah.
Depending upon what her limits are.
Now, what did we say? How long did the
She also appeared out of nowhere in the store.
in the store? Yeah. How long did the effects last after he had left on everybody? Up the road? Did we say it was
20, 30 seconds maybe?
Oh, it was seconds. Okay.
So 2 to 3 rounds after he left.
So,
Maybe less than that.
But that's after it's established.
Yeah, I think it was only between 10 and 20 seconds were actually is what you think before they came together.
I'm assuming that this girl is under his effects. So if we can take him out pretty soon after he appears, then, before she would come to rescue him, she would potentially, fall out from his effective influence.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, if that's even the case.
Yeah, it could be that she actually is.
Yeah.
his partner.
And, we're just... I don't really have much more to work with to try to, combat blinking in and out of places.
Right.
That you know
Oh, excuse me.
That what?
That you know.
That I know of.
She's also obviously able to take at least one other person with her.
Yeah.
Because teleporting is based on size. And there has to be enough points put into it to take a certain amount of size.
See, I wish Nissa was here so I could ask her, like...
She's had to shrink every time she teleported you. She shrunk down to like the size of a doll and sat on your shoulder and then teleported you. Because her teleporting is limited to a certain size too, and her size
Is her
actually.
strength limited to her size?
No.
Like, if she gets smaller, is she still just as
You
strong?
don't know.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
you
that's
actually
my
don't have
question.
that information. So,
Yeah.
hey, try to flip or whatever. That you've not tried anything like that. She didn't seem strong on your shoulder, but she didn't do anything that would require strength.
Yeah,
either.
I'm trying
So,
to think. Is she like Ant-Man, or what is she like?
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah. So, my idea is, whoever we decide, I want them to follow the plan to begin with.
Okay.
So-
That'd be a switch.
Whoever wears this to try, I want them to take this guy out as soon as they can.
I can just grab him and fly him up.
That's true.
And
But
then
I
try
want-
to choke him.
I want him
while we're
unconscious.
flying.
Choke him.
Well, to make sure that he can't control anybody.
Yeah, I want
Awesome
him
superhero.
unconscious.
Don't do that anymore. I'm sorry, I'm just getting this visual, and it's just terrifying.
Yeah.
So,
I prefer to leave him unconscious for questioning later.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
I want him unconscious.
Well, yeah. We don't want to kill him.
You just punch him.
And then I want him.
And try not to kill him. You can do a stun punch.
I want it like a. you know,
Okay. Then yeah, I'll just do a full strength stun punch.
like a grab and go. I want him to show up. I want us to go in with the device, and I want us to take him out and get him out of there quick. Because I don't want this girl showing up and like blinking him out of our hands.
So wait, we're gonna try to get him
Get him and go. A
at the
grab and
next
go.
jewelry store. Is what you're saying? Or we could
I mean,
track him down because
We can track him down.
they have to be sleeping by now. One would think.
Do we want to take him on our terms, or do we want to go to like his second safe house, or wherever we believe he is?
I think that'd still be on our terms because we're dictating the time of attack.
Well, how long has it been since? I mean, it's been a few
It
hours.
was, it was 7 o'clock when you guys hit the house, and it
It's been a
disappeared.
lot
It
of
took you an hour to deal with that, and it's about 1 a.m. now. So it's been 5 hours since since they disappeared out of the house.
I don't know about you, but I would still be on edge. If I were him, I wouldn't be asleep right now. I would be holed up somewhere with everything ready to go again. If I were him.
Wait, am I asleep?
Heck,
just remembered that. Wait,
No,
what
he
time of day is this?
he
still?
woke
Is
you
it
up.
still one?
Make a
Okay.
roll on the hour. Default roll on the hours for making the battery first.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute.
We could push this back till the next morning. Took you a
2.
couple hours, so it was 3 in the morning when you finished the battery. Did you want to wake her up to discuss this, or did you want to wait till the next morning to have this
No, if I'm thinking this, I'm like,
Okay,
he's
so
still
3 in
on
the morning
edge,
you
so-
woke it up. So it's now 3 in the morning. So it's been 7 o'clock was when you hit the house. So it's been 8 hours since it all went down. So boom. We'll retro out anything that had different numbers in it.
Okay, so I wake you up. I get you
To stop
get your
messing.
attention.
Yeah,
It's very easy to do.
So I'm just like, all right, here's what we have. We have a battery that, hopefully can withstand this guy for a while. Because this thing is going to turn on every time he senses his ability, or what I hope his ability is.
Right.
So what we want to do,
Do we only have the one?
yes, yeah, I could only make just the one. So the question is if we want to do this now, or do we want to wait?
Well, if you've got a beacon on him, I say we should just go for it as soon as possible.
If it's 3, when we get to him, it'll probably be around 4, and nobody's awake
Yeah,
around
because of
4.
Darkness.
The thing about
I'm
this is
surprised I'm awake.
the thing about this is we can't all go after him because we can't run the risk of 1 or 2 of us falling under his effects. So whoever goes in after this guy is, they're going to have to be able to hold their own. I don't know how you are in, close combat.
I believe with my steel body in the closet, I could deal a pretty good, solid damage to
Can
him.
you knock this guy out without killing him?
I can hold my punches.
What you can do is you can attempt to do a stun.
Yeah.
Here's how that works real quick, guys.
Okay.
Normal damage is computed for whatever your strength is. And then the victim has to make a resistance roll based on his con versus the points that he normally takes. If he has no armor, it's all those points. If he doesn't make it, then he is stunned. Now, then he's got his con. He's got a chance of recovering from the stun of essentially his con. The next action rank, he has a con times 1% chance of recovering. The action rank after that, he has a con times 2. The action rank after that, he has a con times 3. Then it goes back down to 2 and 1. And if he cannot recover by that point, he's pretty much he's out cold.
Okay.
If you
He's
do
sleeping
more
with the
damage,
fishes.
there's no hit points that are taken from that damage unless it's greater than his current hit points. So he's got, say, 10 hit points, and you do 20, he will take 10 hit points of damage, in addition to the potential being stunned.
And I'm fairly quick.
And you can also pull your punch so you don't do all the damage. And that's basically how stunning works. So there's a good chance he'll recover. Well, not a good chance. Con times 1, 2, and 3 are still pretty low numbers. Even if he's like, I mean, he looked healthy to you.
Mhm.
If he was like super healthy, that's still an 18, a 36, and a little more than a 60, 72% chance.
72 is pretty
72% chance.
good. The other
But you'll
two
see
aren't
him coming
best.
out of it.
Yeah.
And then just,
Mm.
you know. And if
Straight
you've got 3 chances of defending yourself against this, when you see him coming out of it, you can always just whack him again or whatever.
Now, yeah.
That's how stunning works. And then pulling punches just means I'm not using all my damage bonus. You can. Now, this guy looks just like a normal person. A normal person has 10 hit points. He's obviously a superhuman, so he might have more. Impossible to really tell. Your other option is just beat the hell out of him and hope that you don't kill him and knock him down to under 0, which will just knock him unconscious.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, if you knock him down to half his hit points, he also has to do another check, con times 5, to see if he is stunned again, where we're back to this whole check to see if he can recover.
My
So it's
concern is you're tall, noticeable, I would say.
True.
You're heavy. We hear you coming.
I have multiple bodies. I have a concrete body, which is still pretty heavy and loud. An asphalt body, which is a little lighter, but perhaps just as loud. But if I wore some shoes and some clothes, you know, I could look like just an average Joe.
If I'm flying, I'm pretty quiet. I scared you.
Yeah, you did. I'm not very confident in my ability to take someone out. I mean, my strength is 16.
That's pretty good.
You look pretty strong.
What's your damage bonus? You're probably behind strength. Yep, plus 1d6.
Yeah.
Well,
Not a lot.
perhaps our best, and like, assuming that I do knock him out, I can't necessarily get out of there quicker than his girlfriend, perhaps, or daughter, could blink us out. So perhaps, if this fella or this chica, this gargoyle,
I can just grab him and take him away from him.
yeah, grab,
Also.
knock him out and fly away, which I assume is
Grab and
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Snatch and grab.
Then we can take care of the daughter.
What we need to be sure of is that he can't speak.
Is that
As
the
soon as
source
he opens his mouth and calls his daughter, she's going to be right there taking him away. Because that's how he got away last time.
I'll make sure to hit him in the face.
So,
Reagan's doing?
however this happens, he can't say anything. Because when he was taking care of the jewelry store, he said, "Time to go," and she was there, and they were gone. So there's a couple things we need to worry about: being heard, from us being heard, and him being heard.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to do this quick, and we need to do this quietly. So those are.
And then, once we get him, are we taking him to the authorities?
There is a super jail in Charlotte.
There is.
Probably do a super.
There was a superhero called Mechanical Fusion in the
Sounds awesome.
the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like nobody to this day. Nobody's sure if he was a robot or a guy in a suit
Oh,
or
he
what.
sounds real
Hey, Andy,
cool.
what makes
Mechanical
the
Fusion,
super person-
1998 is when he retired. Hold on just a second. Keep that thought, James. He started in 1971, and he retired with honors. He fought. There was a few supervillains. Blood Slash, Copperhawk, and Dark Punch were his main villains. Yeah, they were in Charlotte for a while. I haven't actually determined their fates yet, whether they're in jail, whether they died, whether they disappeared, whatever. But he retired in 1998, and he came out of retirement in 2000 when the Mantoids invaded the world. Yeah, in 2000 there was a massive invasion.
I
Okay.
kind of remember that.
Okay, and
I was in
2,000
bunker for a
ships. No, it was 1,000 ships, each with 200 Mantoid soldiers landed in all the major cities of the world, and basically rolled out and took them. It took about a week for the superheroes to kind of regroup and start fighting back.
Shit.
You can do me. Do you have knowledge? Do me a knowledge check. We'll see if you heard what happened in Charlotte.
Where?
There's been actually no, you don't need this because there's been tons of like news reports lately. There's a big celebration coming up next year because it's been
Like
15
the anniversary.
years. Yeah. Of Charlotte being like freed from the mantle.
I was in the military, so I would have heard about
In
it.
2000, were you in the military? How old your character?
He is 27.
Okay, so maybe it was 15 years ago. No,
No,
probably
I
not.
would've been
He's
too
a little too
Would've
young.
been High
this
school.
was no.
I would have been in high school.
You heard about it. You were probably wherever you lived. If it was a major city, it was invaded. Where are the news articles? I can give you a quick synopsis of what's been going on. Here we go. No, that's
I'm not sure that my character would know these things.
no. That was
Yeah.
how long ago was you?
My character was like asleep.
It's 30
like
years
30
ago.
years.
Yeah, you didn't know anything about the Mantoids except what you've seen on television
Yeah.
about this. Reptoids. That's not. Where the hell?
Is the jail like common knowledge?
Yes,
Okay.
that there's a super jail in this town. Is common knowledge. Jewelry stores.
I'm just wondering what makes the super jail so super. Like, if it's got one thing that I'm thinking it has, then yes, clearly it is.
Nobody knows. They don't allow that. They don't release that information at all. But it's supposed to be able to hold super villains temporarily until they can be
Process.
until they can be processed, tried, and put in. There's a super prison somewhere in the U.S. Its location is completely secret, and it's major. It's like got lockdowns for.
It's
lots
safe
of
to
different types
assume
of
that
powers.
whoever you take in there, their powers don't work. Which means
Same with the super
our
jail.
Our powers probably don't work in the jail.
They can make me dumb.
Well, I don't know
Yeah,
about
but-
making you dumb, but you. I don't know. Maybe your devices won't work.
What the hell? Do I not have a
I mean, this is all out of character, obviously.
cable access?
So
All right, I'm not sure.
There's actually one thing that I can think of that would still make your devices not work,
yeah.
which I'm assuming the prison has.
I'm mad at myself because I don't have the article. But what it boils down to is the Mantoids invaded. In Charlotte, a super villain called the Gasser showed up with mechanical fusion and several other superheroes and villains. They drove the Mantoids into the arena. It's kind of like the Bank of America arena or something. They changed the name. Whereupon the Gasser was essentially dropped in the middle of the arena and just gassed the entire place. Yeah, well, it was war. They came down and took over the world.
Yeah.
And so it was basically, it was the one major invasion of the world that has been dealt with by the superheroes.
Does the ends justify the means?
Good question. But in any case,
And the gasser got away.
But the Gasser was free. Nobody knows what the head count for the Mantoids that were there was a little bit less than 200, but there were some others that were mopped up later. They're not sure if they got all of them. There was only 195 or 96 that were accounted for. Maybe somewhere. And the thing that happened with Charlotte was the Mantoids did not hit Charlotte until like 2 days after every other city had had a ship land. Like the ships basically came down like right in the middle of cities and just disgorged troops and machines. Charlotte, nothing happened, and people in North Carolina were actually kind of pissed. They're like,
We're not important.
we're important. And then 2 days later, this Mantoid force came in from the north, apparently out of nowhere, on land, and just rolled in and just grabbed the city center.
Okay.
Which was kind of strange, but and Charlotte was held for about a week and a half before there was a superhero push back and took the city back. And then most of the Mantoids died. A lot of the ships either fled the planet, or they were driven back to their ships sometimes and they flew away, or some of the ships were captured by various government agencies in some cases. Not many. Most of the Mantoid ships just left, and then they took off. It was really impossible to tell which direction even they went galactically. So there's no telling where they went, where they came from. Nobody even knows why they were here.
Might be on the moon.
Yeah, they might be. There was no dialogue ever established between Mantoids and mankind. So nobody even has any idea why they invaded. They just kind of came in, they took over the place, and then when the superheroes were able, there was a pushback by them and the government, and drove them away. There are rumors that there are still some Mantoids on the planet. There's some rumors that there's one mantoid up in the hill that's still fighting the war. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like mantoid sightings.
Yes, and a lot of that, especially on like Mysteries of the Unknown on cable access.
I love
They
it.
say there's still mantoids. We have some pictures here. You know, grainy, and you can't really tell what the hell it is. Obvious photoshops, mantoids, and you know, so
So this guy, he created the super jail.